Kieran Tierney is being linked to Man City because Pep Guardiola really feels like he wants to get a Premier League proven centre or left-footed fullback at Man City. Now, we are talking about Reiss Nelson, an injury blow to Reiss Nelson in there for you, as Arsenal are planning a move for him on loan away at Emirates. He got an injury, meaning that is going to cancel out everything that Arsenal were planning for him. Remember, last season he was at Feyenoord. He really had a very good loan spells, played close to 35 games a season, and he really did great at Feyenoord. Then we are talking about Hector Bellerin, a story that I really believe that I'm fed up in the news, but it can't get out of the news because yesterday we are told by Romano that his representatives were in London to really get his deal done or terminate the contract, or really see to it that they really get a fee from Rio Betis, something that Arsenal looks like has turned heel onto their former decision on this player in there at the London Conley. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. You see, today this is our second story of the day, and the first one was all about Tielemans' interest in there for you, as Liverpool are really going in for him, but he's saying I'm staying at Leicester if Arsenal doesn't take me, and Arsenal has been told the real amount of money Leicester is willing to take because they are desperate not to lose this player. Now, straight into this guy, Kieran Tierney. Kieran Tierney was rumored to be joining the Madrid side in Spain around March before he got an injury, because Madrid were really looking for replacement of Marcelo. You know that very well. Someone tell me that Madrid has Alba. Alba wants to play as a left back, but all of the managers, especially at Bayern Munich and now Carlo Ancelotti, play him as a central defender most times. You saw the signing of Rudiger really gave Madrid a comfortability of not really going in for Kieran Tierney, and him having been treated because he was really injured. Madrid pulled out, but it looks like Madrid were really pushing to get Kieran Tierney, and by the time I did that story on that channel, I told you that that's why Arsenal were really considering him to give him the captain armband, because when you're captain, you really feel like, why should I leave my team? So it's always rare for captains to cross from one side to another, but you know, when Madrid is in here for you, Arsenal had really so much fear in it, and they opted to really make him the captain, but he got an injury, and obviously Odegaard was given the captain armband at Arsenal. Now, guess who is interested in Kieran Tierney? The story has been reported by Mike McGrath, who is a football reporter at Daily Telegraph, has told us that as deadline approaches, players with peer experience such as Kieran Tierney could come into play. Zinchenko was taken to Arsenal with a view to playing in the midfield, but has started the campaign at the left back, where Kieran Tierney has played since 2019 in there for you. So we've been told that interest of this guy who goes by names of Kieran Tierney in there for you, and Arsenal are really looking to go in and really bring in this player. There is a tweet I'm looking for in here for you that has really told us that Arsenal is really interested in Kieran Tierney Man City is interested in Kieran Tierney, and because they're lacking a player to play into that position. You all know that Kieran Tierney is an Arsenal player, and they've sold Zinchenko to Arsenal, and it said that everything is not rosy at Man City after they missed out on a player who goes by the names of Cucurella. Remember, Cucurella was one of those players that Man City were targeting to replace Zinchenko at Man City, but they are really overvalued by Brighton, and he ended up going to a side which goes by names of Chelsea at a record fee of a fullback of £62 million, showing that a side which goes by names of Man City couldn't really go beyond the amount of money they're being requested. So as it stands right about now, Man City are really looking in for a Premier League proven left back, and Kieran Tierney is one of those that they are really looking at right about now. And the story has come in from what we call inside football, that Man City could target this Arsenal left back goes by names of Kieran Tierney. And here is the story brought to you by the Telegraph, obviously via inside football, that Man City could target Arsenal's Kieran Tierney, if they are still looking for a left back towards the end of the transfer window. Obviously, Man City looks like Arsenal has gotten 2 of their players, and they believe that can't we uproot one from Arsenal? So that's how everything is going. But when you look at Kieran Tierney, I think Arsenal cannot let him go. They can't let him go, and Kieran Tierney also is really liking Arsenal. Even whether he's a supporter of Arsenal, you get. Arsenal brought him here in 2019 July. 3 years he's celebrating at Arsenal, and obviously he is one of those players that Mikel Arteta can't let go, and they want to tie him on a long contract, I think, to see to it that he really gets to the levels where Arsenal really want them to be. And he's really one of the best left backs in the league. To me, after Robertson, he comes next. Robertson of Liverpool, he comes next because he's good defensively and good going forward. So rarely you find a fullback who does all of those 2 aspects well and balance them, defensively and attacking wise. Defensively, Kieran Tierney is hard. Going forward, he's good. Good at scoring goals, good at crossing in those balls into the 18 yards box area of the opponent, and he's really a player who is really big-hearted. His spirit of fight is way up there. He adds a lot to that left fullback of Arsenal. And his return in the game of Crystal Palace, remember Zinchenko was substituted in the 82nd minute, and he was really taken off the pitch, and Kieran Tierney came in through and really gave responsibility to that Arsenal side. You saw it clearly that a side which goes by the names of Crystal Palace, we are targeting Zinchenko because of his height. But when Kieran Tierney came in through, they never hit long balls to that left full back side of Arsenal. You get, he was targeted so much, but obviously they couldn't beat him because Kieran Tierney was back and he was playing that side. So I'm waiting to see in the game of a team which goes by names of Leicester City at Emirates, who is really going to start. Can the manager trust Kieran Tierney and give him some more minutes? That's the big question. But this lad is being wanted by Man City, and maybe this story would have been put out by the agent of Kieran Tierney because he might be thinking that Mikel Arteta might be thinking otherwise of not really giving him first-team football, and maybe this story can threaten Mikel Arteta to go on and really start him in the game of Leicester City. You get, because agents of players are really so much wise because they know how to really put the manager on the spot and on pressure. Right now, Kieran Tierney is one of those players that is returning from injury. Arsenal has brought in a left back who is better going forward and having that ball and building from behind, because Kieran Tierney is not that player who say that is press resistant in the for you, and his creativity and that he explores those spaces is not the way Zinchenko does. Zinchenko is really good at the ball, confident, but the only aspect that Kieran Tierney is better at is the way he defends and cover up that left side of the full back. So that is where you're going to see pressure in the for you. But to me, it's always good to be having 2 players who are good in the same position. That shows you that whenever you give one a chance, he will always come in through and really put up a spirited fight to perform to his best levels. But if you're only having one player in one position, like how Arsenal really did last season, because obviously Nuno Tavares, a player that we like a lot at Arsenal, costed them the Champions League slot. That's true. That's true. He costed them the Champions League slot because in the game of Liverpool, he gifted away. The game was 1-0, and then he gifted away a ball to Diogo Jota. Diogo Jota sat down Gabriel Magalhaes, and he carried the lower left bottom corner. You get? Then in the game of Everton, he was the reason Arsenal was beaten. The game of Manchester United, he contributed to the second goal of United that Ronaldo scored. Then there is a game of... they are close to 3, 4, 5 games that were really so much determinant. And Nuno Tavares really gave away that ball, and it costed Arsenal the Champions League slot in the four. So to me, I really believe that Kieran Tierney is not going to leave Arsenal. However much Man City is interested in this player, but let's wait and see, because I don't believe Arsenal are really so much ready to sell. And obviously, the project at Arsenal is really so much convincing. And obviously, Kieran Tierney will look in through and ask himself, when I go to Man City, do I start? Do I start? Because Cancelo is being played as a left back, though he's right-footed, but he plays very well. So Man City has also signed the left back, but are they will bring him in, or they're really sending him back on loan. So all that and more will be really evidenced onto that day when everything is known, especially that is 1st September. That is the deadline day. If at all, Man City will go in crazy for a player who goes by the name of Kieran Tierney. And secondly, the reason as to why Arsenal fans shouldn't worry is Arsenal will ask north of 60 or 50 million pounds for this player if at all he's to be sold. Can Man City go in and really cough out that money? Yet on Cucurella, they fail to cough 50 million pounds. So let me assure you, this guy is going nowhere. Now, after that, James Benge, he's a soccer correspondent at CBS Sport. He has told us that Reiss Nelson facing a couple of months on sidelines with a squad injury. So it shows you that Mikel Arteta's plans have been really stumbled. Reason being, this guy was going to be loaned to another team. Last season, Amad Diallo of Manchester United was supposed to go to Feyenoord. He was the priority. Then he got an injury. When he got an injury, obviously they opted for Reiss Nelson. Reiss Nelson went to Feyenoord. He played very, very well, and even into that UEFA Europa League finale. No, it was the Conference League finale. He played against AS Roma and he lost 1-0 to Jose Mourinho's side. But he came on through and really had a very good go at these players. So, as things stand, obviously, he's facing an injury. He's one of those players that really impressed somehow, somewhere into the preseason. Mikel Arteta doesn't want to sell him permanently, believes that he needs another season in him to go out on loan and really prove himself. But obviously, he has gotten an injury, meaning that he is going to stay here because the transfer window is closing in 3 weeks. And remember, no team can take a player on loan all permanently when he's injured. That's it. That team is not there. So, Reiss Nelson is facing a couple of months on sidelines because he's injured, and Arsenal are really trying to see how they're really going to go on with this, because that is ugly for a player like him. He rather gets an injury at a team where he's loaned than getting an injury at Arsenal right now, because it doesn't really hold any water. He spent the entire season at Feyenoord and played very well. Alright, then the last story of this episode, we are talking about Hector Bellerin. Looks like Kaya Kanyak is an Arsenal writer on the Football London. He has told us that Arsenal would also like to avoid another contract termination in order to secure a fee of Hector Bellerin, but as things stand, the option hasn't been ruled out, with Rio Betis keen to make his loan from last season a permanent deal. Remember, he was loaned to Rio Betis last season, and he was on a long season loan and returned for the preseason. He played very well in the preseason. He was given the armband of the captaincy in like 2-3 games as Arsenal were playing, but that never really kept Mikel Arteta confident that he can stay at Arsenal. Obviously, he fell out with him and he is now wanting out. Obviously, he only wants Rio Betis. He has turned out offers from Villarreal, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, and other teams. He only wants Betis. Betis wants to pay £4 million for this player. Arsenal just sees this as a joke. But as it stands, Arsenal are now ready to go in and accept this money, because I think they are looking at it and say, all right, if we terminate this contract, we are getting nothing out of this guy. Even if he goes on the cheap and we get in £4 million from your Betis, it will act well in our favor, and that money would be used either to bring in Tielemans or any other player at the side which goes by the name of Arsenal, because Arsenal is in for 3 more players: a left-footed central defender, a central midfielder, and a left-footed right winger. Those are the 3 players Arsenal are in for, and Mikel Arteta has gone ahead to emphasize it every time he's in the pre-press conference, all the match post presser, that Arsenal are not yet done. They want 2 or 3 more signings on their club. So that's what I had for you. Feel free to go in the comment section. Tell me what you think about Hector Bellerin. If at all you are in the legs of Arsenal, would you let him go on a free and terminate the contract, or you let the £4 million in? So let's wait and see what is going to happen as far as Arsenal is concerned onto this deal. So tell me what you think about Kieran Tierney. Man City is showing serious interest in this guy, and everything as it happens, it looks like Arsenal are really standing firm that this player is not for sale. So we wait and see. Is there going to be any movement from the player's side? Obviously, when City comes in through, you expect shaking at a side which goes by the names of Arsenal. Then lastly, Reiss Nelson getting an injury. Very bad news in there for him because he was going to go on a long season loan, maybe back to Feyenoord or any other team. But Arsenal are now going to rule out the loan move and go ahead and let the rest happen. Guys, today, as I told you yesterday, that Pablo Mari was in Milan to undergo his medical. He passed the medical, and today AC Monza has unveiled him as their player. And it said that if at all they stay in the Serie A, they are going to pay Arsenal 5 to 6 million euros. You get? Are they euros or pounds? I think they are euros. So that's what is happening down at the side which goes by names of Arsenal. Smash the like button, comment and share. Remember, we want to hit 10,000 subscribers before the end of this month. We are left with 3 weeks, and I know you guys are really going to go ahead and really do me a favor and really pass over the love. Thank you guys for watching in. It's always Rokani David on the Rokani Media Football. I sign out for now. I think we are left with one more story. Obviously, we are going to come in here and really execute more as you guys want it. I'm out.